Good afternoon, people. It's Melanie Sobocinski. So I am going to talk to you today about the last diet that you will ever need to go on. Because we all know that changing what you eat can improve your life, right? It can make you feel better, give you more energy, improve your health, right? And it can help you overcome some major health issues. But it's when it's in that form of a diet that you may not see the results. You may not see the lasting change because, I hate diets. The guilt, the restriction, the vicious cycle over and over again, like maybe this one will work. Maybe this diet's going to work. And then we get pissed at ourselves because we fall off the wagon for a day and then we just go dive off into the deep end. So here's the last diet you are ever going to need to go on, okay? We need to start looking at things that we eat and look at ourselves in a more mindful way, coming from a place of love. You need to look at what you're putting in your body, not as a diet, but as caring for yourself and putting your health first. But what this diet is, are you ready? You ready? It's a self-love diet. This is a diet of self-love where you're understanding that it's not about restriction. It's not about a vicious cycle of feeling guilty, starving yourself, falling off, depriving yourself, blah, 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 blah. It's you understanding how to nourish your body with quality food and loving yourself right where you're at. Not looking for a weight loss, not looking for a specific size clothing. It's finding that balance and being okay with having that occasional piece of cake without shaming yourself. Because when you do it, when you approach it that way, you're not going to dive into that whole cake. I can promise you. I don't diet anymore. I don't measure anymore. It's stupid. It sucks. It did not work for me. And majority of my clients have that same issue. Somehow birds of a feather flock together. I don't eat that way anymore. Self-love. Because I hated myself every time I ate something that wasn't on my diet. Or I hated myself every time I stepped on that scale and didn't lose the effing weight I thought I should have been losing. And I beat myself up way too much every damn time I went on a damn diet. So you don't need a diet. It's not you that's failing. It's the diet. It's the restriction. Then we hate ourselves. So the self-love diet is the last diet you're ever going to go on. Like I said, you're eating mindfully. It's letting go of that expectation of if I eat exactly within these 4 perimeter walls, I'm going to see these results. And if I don't, I've failed and I suck. Stop. Stop that right now. When you start to be more mindful and you look at it coming from a place of love, and maybe this sounds crazy to all the people who weigh, measure, and if that works for you, cool. Look, not everything works for everybody, and not everybody can go the same approach with dieting. You just can't, okay? And if you've been on the same diet from when you were whatever age, when you started your first diet, till you're now, please contact me. If you've never had to change a thing or never been frustrated or never hated yourself or never fell off the wagon, please contact me. I want to know what diet that is. Because to me, when you can come from a place of love with how you're eating and having grace with yourself and eating mindfully where you're not having distractions, right? You're not rushing through how you're eating. You're not, I have to eat this now because in another 4 hours I'm going to have to eat again. And if I don't fit this, I suck and I fell off. And no, it's about giving your body what it needs. It's about giving your body quality food. Because we get to this point where we start to hate everything about the word diet, everything about the new fad diet. But it worked for Jenny, so it should work for Susie. Not always. It's failing. That diet is set up to fail you. It seriously is, okay? They're too restricting, for me at least, and for majority, like I said, of my clients. So it leads to emotional eating. It leads to eating more. That's not self-love. That is not self-love at all. So we have to let go of the perfection. You have to be flexible. You have to know that falling off the wagon is not really falling off the wagon. So you had a day that you ate a little bit too much. Tomorrow's another day. Don't beat yourself up. You were at a birthday party, you enjoyed yourself. You didn't restrict yourself. When you get in that frame of mind, you're not diving headfirst into Oreos. That's not what I'm talking about by being mindful and allowing yourself to have this, that, or the other. That's so not what I'm talking about. So please don't take it that way. It's knowing what your body needs and giving it what it needs and not depriving it. Like, oh, just have you ever just go here for just 1 second, and have you ever said, it's after 8 p.m., I'm hungry. Oh, but I can't eat because it's after 8. Or I just finished eating and, this is how much I was allotted for this meal, 110 calories, and I'm starving, but I can't eat for another 4 hours because if I do, then I'm going off my diet. Or this time it's going to work. I know it's going to work this time. Or maybe you're at the point where you're like, nothing works. What is it going to take? What diet will work for me? I don't know. I don't have that answer, but it's not a diet. I can tell you that. So letting go of that perfection or those thoughts of it has to be this way or I suck. Check your feelings. Like, how do you feel when you're eating these foods? Just like Anne said, that sometimes when we're restricting ourselves, then it causes us to eat more. And then we have this vicious cycle that we're frustrated. How would it be if you were able to eat and you felt satisfied and you felt okay with what you ate and you knew that it was doing you good and you weren't overeating? And then as a side effect, you're seeing weight loss. Self-love diet, sorry. And the last thing I'm going to say is, by all means, please be kind to yourself and have patience. Give yourself the grace, because the hating, the body shaming, the loss of self-respect that we have and go through and the eating disorders and the binge eating and the emotional eating that sometimes come along with these things for people, not worth it. It is not worth it. So be kind to yourself and understand that the reason why your body's craving this is maybe because you're restricting it on this end. And when you give it what it needs in the middle, it doesn't fly off the handle anymore. It's learning to understand you and how your body works and what it is, instead of listening to those voices in the head of, oh my gosh, I can't eat this, or I'm going to have to go to the gym and work out for an extra hour. None of that is serving you at all. And if it is, I mean, cool. Like I said, everybody's different and not all the same thing works for everybody. But I can tell you what, the word diet is the biggest suck-ass word in the world. It is the biggest money-making thing in the world, because you're spending all this money on these diets because it worked for Jenny, or it worked for Susie, or it worked for Bobby Joe, or whoever it worked for, and you're frustrated because it's not working for you. And then you hate yourself, and then you hate what you see in the mirror, and then you're frustrated, and then you get upset and you drink a bottle of wine and eat a pint of ice cream, or you mix it together and make a shake, and then you feel like crap. Is that worth it to you? Is that kind of diet worth it to you? There's no self-love involved in that. None whatsoever. So the last diet that you will ever need to go on is what I call the self-love diet. And I would be more than willing to speak more with you about it, because I know some people are like, what the heck? That's just silly mumbo jumbo. I mean, maybe none of this resonates with you. Maybe you've never been in this position. Maybe you've never had a negative thought about food, or restricted yourself, or went on an emotional eating binge, or ate in the middle of the night and had your family wake up and ask where everything went. Maybe you've never gone through that. And cool, I love it if you haven't. But so many people have. And so many people are stuck. And they're grasping at straws looking for the right diet, when it's not a diet that you need. It's understanding what's going on inside of you, in here and in here. To me, that is the most important thing in the world, because I've seen so many people and worked with so many people that have gone down this path. And not to single out or stereotype or anything, but a lot of it is the people who weigh, measure, and get crazy and meal plan. And like I said, if it works for you, I'm grateful that it works for you. But 90% of the people I work with, that's not what worked for them, and it just sent them into just a negative spiral. Even depression comes out of these type of things. Negative thoughts of food, and tons tons of weight gain that just doesn't help you. So it's not serving you. So yes, the last diet you'll ever need to go on is a self-love diet, when you're becoming more mindful of what your body actually needs, of putting your health first, of understanding your thoughts and feelings towards food, of understanding what it does to your body individually, because it does different things, and realizing that it's not about a number on a scale. It's not about the size clothes you wear. It's not about getting 1,200 calories a day. I don't know where that came from anyway. It's about feeling better. It's about improving your energy and overcoming some health issues that you may or may not have, whether they're physically or emotionally problematic to you, or mentally, right? So that is all I have for you guys today. Remember, diets suck. That's it. And here's the thing, like, maybe they work for you. So let me not stereotype, no, let me not generalize, but what works for you may not work for others, and what works for others may not work for you. And when you understand that, you will have the balance. You will let go of the expectations. You will feel better, and you probably will lose weight, because the stress of it sometimes causes us to gain weight, to go off in the wrong direction, to not think about our health, to not, it's just the diet mentality that everybody has, because I fall into it and back into it every now and again, is just not, it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all, the way we think on this end, and then what it is if we're like, we're going to come from a place of love. We're going to understand. And I know maybe you're like, oh yeah, whatever, that's not going to work. The real way is this. Maybe the real way for you is not the real way for someone else. So you can't say, yeah, this is the only way that works. It's calories in, calories out. If that were the case, and I know this is probably going to open a whole can of worms, then why are we all not the weight we want to be? Because some of us can't handle the restrictions. Some of us go OCD when we have to count things. And some of us go crazy when we're like, that won't fit our macros. Or it will, but I won't be able to eat anything else, and I know I'll be hungry because it's empty calories. So it's understanding what works for you, and coming from a place of love, and being kind to yourself, and having the patience. That is all I have for you guys today. Have a great day, and we will chat later.